Welcome back to the inaugural JNS International Policy Conference, hosted here at the Waldorf Astoria in the heart of Jerusalem. I'm Ariella Novak, journalist and co-founder of Shield Communications PR and Bottom Line Media. I'm excited to be podcasting throughout day 2 of this historic event. Welcome to sitting here today with me. I'm so pleased to have you sitting here. Shay was a F-16 fighter pilot in the Israeli Air Force who spearheaded the fight against the refusing the Air Force during the judicial reform. This brought to the establishment of the Netzach Israel, the fastest growing grassroots movement in Israel, which is returning the power to the people and reconnecting our country and its nation to its true destiny. I'm so pleased to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a preface. I'm very happy, very glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I think that, we are standing in a tremendous period of time of Israel, not just as a state, but as a nation. We are here after 2,000 years of exile in the diaspora, and we are trying to figure out our destiny. In other words, what
does that mean?
What does it mean? I mean, about the political landscape, for example,
yes,
it's actually all derived from wrong perception or right perception. I mean, Herzl actually stipulated an expression called safe haven.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, not to be annihilated in Auschwitz. So this is a good cause. Not to be annihilated in Treblinka, of course, but we have destiny to fulfill. By the way, the whole world knows that. The nations of the world, we are receiving now, today, sympathy from the Trump administration, not because of apology, but because of an appreciation of same values and same mission.
Absolutely.
Mike Akabi, for example, he's
going to be at our conference speaking this evening.
Yeah.
Such an honor.
Yeah, such an honor. Mike Akabi, for example, thinking exactly the opposite from the ruling elite in Israel.
Tell me about that.
I'll tell you about it. After 2,000 years in the diaspora, we came back, we have returned to Zion in order to fulfill our destiny. And in other words, the Aliyah Shniya, the second Aliyah, the pioneers of the second Aliyah 120 years ago, they were executed, and they were, in the pogroms of Eastern Europe. They fled out of it, and they came here. Now, most of the immigrants went to the United States. A big part went to Western Europe, but 70,000 came here to Israel. 35 went back to the United States. So 35 pioneers stayed here in Israel, and they founded the first institutions in Israel.
Yeah.
Which actually, if you take, for example, the Bar Giora organization, which was the first army, it wasn't an army yet, but it was the first holding a weapon after Mered Bar Kokhba, after the rebellion of Bar Kokhba, 2,000 years before, dating. And revolving from this organization, the Hashomer organization, which was the foundation of the IDF, the foundation of Tzahal. And in that period of time of the second Aliyah, those pioneers actually stipulated the expression of Herzl to be a safe haven.
Wow.
They thought that the pogroms, it's a cause of being an Am Sgula. And therefore, you need to be an Am Kechol Ha'amim, a nation like all the nations. But we can see today, 120 years ago, after the massacre of Simchat Torah, that as long as you trying to escape from your identity, the enemy comes after you. And persecute you. And that's it. So today we are standing in a generation of exchanging the old elites, the old serving elite. I was born in a kibbutz.
Wow,
I grew
where?
up there, in the western shore of the Sea of Galilee.
What was it called?
It's called Ginosar, near Tiberias. It was founded.
It's beautiful, though.
Very beautiful place. It was founded actually by Yigal Allon, who was the commander, was the high commander of the War of Independence. And I grew up there, and I'm ninth generation here in Israel, on the other side. But, you know, as a kibbutznik, I can say that, I mean...
And by the way, kibbutz is a community. We have communities all over the globe, but here it's called a kibbutz.
Yeah, a kibbutz, it's like, you know, we truly believe that the Messiah is like, the kibbutzim is a microcosm of the world, of how it is supposed to be. So Yigal Allon founded this kibbutz, and I had the privilege to grow up there, and had the privilege as well to serve as a fighter pilot in the Israeli Air Force, as an F-16 pilot. And I can tell you for sure that I volunteered to the Army as a fighter pilot because I grew up there, and you know,
it's a beautiful story and a beautiful message.
Yeah, but today we can see, just for example, in the 6-day war, 789 casualties. 25% of them were kibbutznikim. And the kibbutznikim then were less than 3% of the population.
Wow.
Today, 50% of those who devoted their lives in order to keep Israel in this war, in Charvot Barzel, the war of Homemiyut, are religious, and 25 are traditional. So we are in exchanging of serving elite in Israel. So the whole struggle, you asked about the political landscape. So
Absolutely.
The whole struggle, there is a struggle today always has been struggle upon the hegemony. The left always try to control on Israel, but today they have a purpose.
Well, thank you so much. Your message with destiny, your message in what you're doing, how you're brought up, where you're brought up, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me here at JNS.
Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing you speak.
Thank you
all.
so much.
Yes, of course. I'm looking forward to getting to know you further.
Thank you so much.
Stand by here at JNS. We're bringing you more news all day, more experts, more stories. Stay with us. I'm Ariella Novak, and I'll see you soon.